Chef Fran, and today we're making something special. We're making chicken parm lasagna. So I don't know if you know, lasagna is like a casserole dish. And so we're gonna combine the chicken parm with the lasagna and make it a one-stop meal. So lasagna is like your all-inclusive one-stop dish. And so I'm adding chicken parm to it. And I happen to be making this dish because today happens to be my son's 21st birthday. And he loves chicken parm and he loves pepperoni, which I'm gonna include in my lasagna. And so I kind of want to do something special for him. He also loves broccoli. So instead of kind of doing spinach in my ricotta, I'm gonna actually include broccoli in it, chopped up broccoli. So to start, what do we have? We have our flour, our eggs, our breadcrumb, and our seasoned chicken. And I always wash my poultry, even my beef, with some, or definitely my seafood, with some form of acid to just kind of clean it from being in the packing plants and all of that good stuff. So I use lemon juice in this case, or you can use apple cider vinegar or white wine vinegar, or lime or sour orange, just some form of acid to kind of clean the good from the chicken. So I did that, and it's already seasoned. And over here we have our seasoning that was used, Slap Your Mama seasoning, our Himalayan salt, our black pepper, our basil, our Italian seasoning, as well as our garlic powder, onion powder. We have our pasta sauce. I add just a little bit of brown sugar in it to kind of tone down the acid. And we have our broccoli, and we have our freshly grated Parmesan. We have our fresh mozzarella. We have our lasagna noodles, and we have our pepperoni. And that's it. So we're gonna begin. Okay, so I started dipping our, you have one hand wet, one hand dry. So I'm gonna put some here so I can have a good amount to start with. So what I did was, I'm gonna start all over for you and kind of show you. But let me explain it first. And I'm sure most of you know how to do this. I started coating it in the flour, make sure it was fully coated. Then I dipped it in the egg, and then I dipped it in the panko. I've had my oil getting nice and hot to receive this goodness here. So I just want to get a few pieces in. So that's why I started this. And again, so I'm trying to get this coated here. I am on location, visiting my son, who is in the city of brotherly love. So I'm making this nice little birthday dinner for him. So again, I'm gonna go with my dry. I'm gonna dip it here, my chicken pieces, in the flour. Make sure it stays fully coated before I put it in the egg. And then we're gonna fry it up. We'll see what that looks like. So I just shake off the residue, dip it in the egg while I work on this piece here. And I'll have them both go in together. So it's taking an egg bath, as I would call it. And this is taking its flour bath. Okay. And then now I'm gonna use my wet hand, which is over here. And I'm gonna put it in the breadcrumb mixture. Get it on here. Kind of get it to stick on there. And then you want to make sure this is fully coated. And again, shake off any residue so you don't get your, oh, I almost put the wet in there. So be careful. And then we're going to start frying this up after this one. Make sure it's fully coated with your egg. And so I don't have all my tools with me, unfortunately. So I'm using really small dishes here. When you're in location, you gotta use what you got. So let's go ahead and put that in our hot oil, and we'll continue the process until all the chicken parm is cooked. Okay. There we go. So we're gonna cook this about, my breasts are really small, my chicken breasts. It's just the brand that I use. It's organic, so it's natural. And I also happen to slice it in the middle so that way it would cook a little quicker. And so with that said, you only need about 3.5 minutes on each side, roughly about 6 to 7 minutes for it to be fully cooked. And then I'm just gonna put it on the foil. I'm gonna add some paper towel to my foil to just let the grease drip off, and then we'll start to build it in our lasagna. Now my lasagna pan here, I did turn around and put some pasta sauce and some noodles for our base. And I usually, because my lasagna is usually very hearty and heavy with a lot of ingredients, I generally like to put 2 noodles down, 2 layers of noodles down to be able to support that weight. So I'm going to continue while this is cooking up. I'm going to lower my heat just a tad bit. I'm going to continue doing my wet and dry thing here so we can get this all done here. And then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. One egg in it, and I also have some pasta sauce in it because my son doesn't like anything white sauce related. He doesn't like Alfredo sauce, he doesn't like cottage cheese. So I figured if I jazz it up and make it pinkish, almost on the red side, he won't pay attention to it. Because how could you have lasagna and not have ricotta? So good. Okay. Remember, when we cut, we want to make sure that we claw our fingers. As we chop, we move our fingers back. The clawing process. I'm just trying to make this a little fine so it's not too many big pieces. Okay. And then we'll mix and put this in. I have our broccoli all cut up, trying to put it in here. And our sauce looks, kind of pinkish. Salmon, more like salmon color, coral family. You know, we gotta get our veggies in. So this is his favorite vegetable, that and corn, but my husband is not a fan of corn, so I won't be putting any corn. So I have to settle on just broccoli, and that's what we'll do. And so here we go. And we are gonna begin our process. Oh, I did not show you guys how wonderful, hold on, let me move this out the way. How wonderful our chicken parm, our chicken came out beautiful. All GBD, you know, golden brown and delicious here. And then we're gonna put it in our lasagna. So I just wanted you to kind of see that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. As you see, I've done my first layer with the ricotta and the broccoli and the pasta sauce. And I did put some fresh mozzarella on top of it. Reason being is because I'm about to put my chicken parm and I don't want my chicken to move. So always your cheese is like a sort of food glue. when you use cheese in dishes. And so it's gonna hold, once it melts, it will hold, or actually once it melts and starts to firm up a little bit, it will hold the chicken parm in place and not allow it to like move if I'm trying to cut it or, do something in that nature. So that's why I put a little light layer. And I know you're probably like, this is light. Well, my family and I, we love cheese and we love fresh mozzarella. So this is why there's a layer underneath it. So now we're going to go ahead and start assembling our chicken parm. And look for like a little smaller pieces here towards the end. There we go. And so now I'm going to put my pasta sauce over it. Can't have chicken parm and not have your sauce, right? So I'm gonna put some pasta sauce over it. And then I'm gonna put some fresh mozzarella on that again before I do my next layer of pasta. So, and again, this is really just some store-bought sauce that I just kind of added a few spices to it, kind of like making my own thing since I didn't have time to necessarily make my own sauce from scratch. So, store-bought sauce works just as well if you want to add something to it or just use it just the way it is. Okay, so now get some fresh mozzarella on here. This is some fresh Parmesan that I grated. Parmesan Reggiano, actually. So, a little bit of that here. Okay. And then, now we can do our other layer. Do it this way. Here, I'm just putting some pasta sauce because these are oven ready lasagna. The pasta sauce is what helps it to cook. Okay. If you need more sauce, you could always add more sauce to it if you need more. And so now we go in and we repeat our step here of our chicken, but I'm gonna actually go back, and put some ricotta. So what I'm gonna do is add some ricotta to it, smooth it out. Okay, so I had laid down, my chicken parm, my chicken again. Now as a sauce, I'm gonna do some more cheese. I'm gonna put the pepperoni on it, and then we're gonna do our last layer of noodles, and then we're just gonna bake this. So, now I love fresh mozzarella, but it does give off a lot of, milk liquid. So, you may want to if depending what you're doing, you may want to make sure it's fully drained, before you use it. So I'm just gonna add some cheese here. So now we're adding our pepperoni. And I added the mozzarella, I added a little bit of the Parmigiano Reggiano. And here's the pepperoni. And we're gonna just add our last layer of noodle afterwards. Make sure we get enough pepperoni here. Let's not be pepperoni cheap. Just cover up that other side. Pepperoni. Now the turkey pepperoni, and I could clearly see it in putting it down. It says 70% less fat, and I could clearly see it. That is just no fat on it. It's really kind of dry in my hands. That was the one I could find, so not everybody eats, pork. I love bacon, but usually when I cook for other people, I tend to substitute it, but turkey, whatever. And, obviously it's better for your health, but just to be considerate to other people in case they don't eat that. All right, and now I am going to put my last layer. Last layer. Actually, I've got to put a little bit more mozzarella to keep it to stick here. And you put this down here. My last layer. All right. And again, we have to put some sauce on the top of it. I'm just trying to squeeze it down. And this is why I have a tray underneath it in case there's any spillage, that it can fall inside the pan. So, and I will just put some of my sauce here, and then we're gonna put a little bit more of mozzarella and Parmigiano Reggiano, and then get it in the oven. Okay, so here we have our fresh mozzarella on the top. Not too much because I really don't want to mess. And I had shredded this and just vacuum sealed it. So here we go. We just put some here, some Parmesan here. And we're gonna put it in the oven on 375 for put it for 25 minutes covered, and then you want to do another 20 minutes uncovered. There you go. Our vitamin content for our chicken parmigiana is chicken, B6, B12, niacin, lemon juice, C, B6, potassium, Slappy Mama seasoning, A, C, calcium and iron, Himalayan salt, calcium, iron, magnesium, potassium, black pepper, A, B1, B2, B5, B6, C, E, and K, garlic powder, B6, C, calcium, iron, magnesium, onion powder, B, C, calcium, iron, manganese, and potassium, olive oil, E and K, flour, folic acid, iron, niacin, riboflavin, thiamine, eggs, A, B2, B5, B6, B12, E, D, K, and iron, breadcrumbs, B6, calcium, iron, magnesium, pasta sauce, A, B, C, E, K, and potassium, fresh mozzarella cheese, C, folate, potassium, shredded Parmesan, A, B6, and B12. And our lasagna has vitamins B, folate, niacin, riboflavin, thiamine, pasta sauce as well, A, B, C, E, K, and potassium, ricotta cheese, A, B2, B12, calcium, broccoli, B1, B6, E, manganese, turkey pepperoni, B12, D, E, and K, mozzarella, fresh mozzarella, C, folate, potassium, shredded Parmesan, A, B6, B12, and basil, A, C, K, calcium, iron, magnesium, and manganese. Real facts, 57% of Black college students reported being food insecure. The number of food insecure college students is skyrocketing. You can learn more by visiting us at jdhcdc.org. Well, guys, look at our chicken parm lasagna. You see the inside here, and we make sure we have our veggies of the broccoli, and we have that little twist of the pepperoni in here too. And of course our chicken, that's chicken parm. And so you get to see it here too on our slice right here. And then you get to see this beautiful green here because it's our broccoli. So here's our veggies, and of course the wonderful fresh mozzarella cheese that we have in here, and the Parmesan Reggiano, that nice wonderful Italian cheese. And so let's dig in. Let me cut our Parmesan. Cut our Parmesan and get a piece of our lasagna in here. Okay. Oh my gosh. You have to try this. I promise you, you won't regret it if you try it. You have to try this. I'm gonna cut a piece of this and I want you to see what inside looks like, the layers of the Parmesan, the chicken Parmigiana, as well as the lasagna noodles. Take a look at this. Take a look at that. Do you see the layers? So if you look inside, you can see our layers of the chicken parm, and then you see the noodles. You don't see the pepperoni here because it's a little hidden, but you do see the cheeses, which is great. This is a definite must try. One of those recipes that you definitely want to put in your arsenal of cooking. This is it. You have to definitely try this. You will enjoy it. So as I told you, I tasted before and it's delicious. Oh, you see that broccoli coming through? Oh, make sure you get your veggies in here. Oh, it's so good. Look at this. Take a look at the layers of the chicken parm and the lasagna in between it and the cheese. This is so delicious. You have to try this. So here's our call to action. Don't forget to click the like button by giving us a virtual hug. When you do that, that lets myself and my team know that you're enjoying what we're putting out for you, and allow us to go back to the thinking lab to see what can we recreate, or what can we create originally to just kind of entice you and help you to be able to move on your cooking journey. If you're new to this channel, welcome. We welcome you here with open arms and great big hugs. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. What are you waiting for? And hit that bell notification so you'll know every time we upload a new video. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate what you ate virtually while we ate physically, but you too can eat this too next time physically. And comment below, let me know if you did the exact recipe, if you did something different, and what is it that you probably did that was different. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you again for hanging out. Love you guys, bye.